Hi everyone, it's me Vishal Karki and today I'm going for final presentation of NAT290 and today I'm going to take you through how genetics connects to evolution using one of my favorite real life example, the papered moth. These moths are small but they have been at the center of the clearest demonstration of uh, natural selection in action. Over the next few minutes, I'll cover how genotypes turn into phenotypes, two key pieces of evidence for evolution, and how all life on Earth is classified. And of course, I'll tie everything back to prepared moth. So let's start with our first slide. In this slide, I will explain how genotype become phenotypes. A genotype is a genetic code inside an organism. The actual sequence of DNA of phenotype is what we can observe, like wing, color, body size, or behavior. Genes, genes tell cells how to make proteins, and those proteins shape an organism traits. In paper moth, a single gene determines wing colors. Two light alleles produce a colored moth, while having at least one dark allele produce a dark colored moth. The difference might seem small, but you'll see later. It can mean life or death depending on the environment. And the four mechanisms of evolution are mutation. Mutation are random changes in DNA. They can happen when DNA is copied or because of environmental factors. In the paper moth, the dark-colored morph appeared because of a mutation in the pigment genes. Most mutations don't help or hurt, but this one turned out to be useful in certain environments. And another one is genetic drift. Genetic drift is when allele frequencies changes just by chance, especially in small population. For example, if a storm randomly kills most of the light moths in a small forest will be killed. Dark moth could become the majority in that forest, not because they were fitter, but purely by the luck, you know. And another one is migration. Migration is when individuals move between populations, bringing their genes with them. If dark moths fly into an area where there are only light moths, they introduce the dark allele into the population, increasing genetic diversity. And another one is natural selection and adaptation. Natural selection happens when certain traits help an organism survive and reproduce better than other. During the Industrial Revolution in England, suppose soot from factories darkened tree bark. Dark moth blended in better and were eaten less often by birds, so their number increased dramatically. That's adaptation. When a population become better suited to its environment over generations. And for evidence for evolution, I'm going to talk each one about fossil record and molecular biology. First one is fossils record. The fossil record preserves ancient life forms showing changes over time. While most fossils are rare, we do have insect fossil that show wing shape and pattern changes over a million of years. These fossils give us a life timeline of evolutionary changes. And molecular biology. When scientists compare DNA from light, they are nearly identical, except for a change in one pigment gene. This confirms that the dark morph didn't come from a new species. It evolved within the same population over and over throughout the course of history. And another one is specification and biodiversity. There are three classes of life. All life fall into three domains: bacteria, single cell, no nucleus, and archaea, single cell, often living in extreme environment, and eukarya, complex cells with nuclei, which include moths, humans, and plants. Basically everything other than bacteria and archaea. And macroevolution. Macroevolution is large-scale evolutionary changes over a long period of time. If paper moth population were separated for thousands of years in very different environments, they could eventually become distinct species. That's specification. And as per the Punnett square, let's look at how wing color is inherited. Uh, Dark color is capital D is dominant and light color small d is recessive. If we cross two heterogeneous moths together, that's capital D and small d versus capital D and small d, we get 25% of the dark moth, which is DD, and 50% of a dark moth, which is also capital D and small d, and 25% of a light moth, which is small d and small d. And that's a 3 to 1 ratio of dark to light moth in the next generation. The simple inheritance pattern explains how the dark alley can become more or less common over time depending on environmental pressure. So if you are still confused, you can look at the Punnett square I made. It will be more easier for you guys. As for the reflection, my reflection is what I say to someone who claims evolution is just a theory. In science, a theory isn't a guess, but it's a well supported explanation built on evidence. The paper moth study is direct, observable proof of evolution. With just a few decades, we saw a population change dramatically because of environment pressure. And now, with clean air, we've actually seen the number of light moths rise again. That's evolution in action in our lifetime. So thank you for listening. I hope the paper moth has shown you that genetics and evolution are not only real but happening all around us right now. So thank you.